Wow, right on. I've got to put on the antiperspirant deodorant today because this one's going to be fire. 130 people in here on the start. God bless you. 133. Freaking awesome. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love this digital gold community so much. I love you guys. I really just love you guys. Like when we started this thing I say June, July of last year, but really when I was looking at the numbers yesterday, in June or July, we were getting like 15, 20 people. In September, the very first week of September, we interviewed Dash and Digibyte and then Multiverse X. Multiverse X, my God, did we get love from that group. Unbelievable love. Had just a huge day. I had like 300 followers by the time we did Multiverse X. And in the single day, there were 150 new followers, like 50% more followers. And so this has been a journey. And so I want to first of all say, God bless you and thank you guys. We now have a community of about 5,000. I want every single person in this community to contact me and say that you've downloaded a Digital Gold X wallet, digitalgoldx.com. You just go to Digital Gold X like exchange or X-ray or X, the platform, digitalgoldx.com, and just download a wallet. Now, after you've downloaded a wallet, you scroll down a little bit, you download, it's either for Mac or PC or Linux, because this is essentially the Bitcoin wallet. We hard forked Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you guys the whole story, but first, get yourselves a wallet. If you're watching this right now, the first thing you need to do is go to digitalgoldx.com. I'm going to put up that banner again here. I want you to go to digitalgoldx.com. And the first thing I want you to do is just scroll down a little bit and download a wallet. Okay? I think I can share my screen. That'd be cool. Let me try and do that. I'm going to say share screen. Allow to share screen. Share screen. Okay. And now you guys can see this is Digital Gold X. Okay. digitalgoldx.com. And what I want you to do is I just want you to scroll down here, and where it says click on your wallet type, just download a Windows wallet or Mac wallet or Linux wallet. Now, we hired the Blackcoin team, who were the very first to publish a proof of stake coin in February of 2014. I'm friends with the guys that run that, Blackcoin Dev and the team there. And we hired them and we paid them to, first of all, upgrade their own product to the latest version of Bitcoin. Then we wanted them to add SegWit so we could add more transactions to a block. We did a 2 megabyte block size, but I asked that it be adjustable because Elon Musk had said he didn't like layer 2s. I don't really care for layer 2s either. And it doesn't really happen on the blockchain. You understand it's happening up here at this other layer. And there could be security issues in that. We're just not interested. But Elon Musk said that he thinks people would be surprised how far you can scale a layer 1. And so with that in mind, I made the block size adjustable. Now, other than adjusting that and maybe making it a quantum resistant, there's no more to do. It's done. So my background is that back in 2012, 2014, when I got interested in this, in 2015 and 16, I started working with the OGs that were creating this entire space. And I worked specifically with their lawyers. I worked with lawyers at 12 of the top security law firms in the nation, including Hughes, Hubbard & Reed, which was the largest, first, oldest securities law firm, with a former SEC commissioner, Ruel Campos. But that was at the end of my journey. I spent about 15,000 hours studying what makes a crypto a security versus a commodity. And Bitcoin is a commodity. It's not a security because you didn't pool money from a group of people to build something so that the people that put in their money could get a profit. That's the definition by Howey test of a security. So what we did was we made it so that I raised the money. I put $1 million into this. It sounds like a lot of money, but if you've got 15, 20 people working for you, and they're each making just, $5,000 or so a month. That's 60, 70 grand a month times, 12 months. That's $1 million. It goes fast, right? And so what we did was we took Elon Musk's idea, and I love the proof of stake idea. And I paid and I pre-mined the whole thing. I pre-mined the whole thing, me and my team. I had Blackcoin do this for us. Proof of stake typically means you can get staking rewards. I said no staking rewards. I don't want any inflation, but also part of securities, I didn't want it to be looked at as a dividend, which could again classify a coin as a security. I didn't want any of that. So there are no staking rewards. So you can say, well, then how do I make money holding DGD? Well, I'll get to that. But no staking rewards. I made the transaction fee 0.00001. And then we burn that. So the transaction fees are essentially zero. I made the block time 1 minute and 4 seconds. And maybe I should have made it a little bit quicker than that, maybe 15 seconds. But it's very quick. When I send you a DGD, the longest it'll take before it's spendable on your side is 1 minute and 4 seconds if you came in right at the end of the last block. But typically, it's there as quick as I can snap my fingers, and it's spendable almost as fast. So we created an LLC in Delaware. We applied for a Dun & Bradstreet, and we had to use our lawyer's blessing. Essentially, you have to get a firm that already has a Dun & Bradstreet to bless you, a law firm, in order for them to do that. But this has now been almost 4 years. And so we're one of the only cryptocurrencies whose parent company, if you will, has a Dun & Bradstreet rating. And this is really important because we wanted a safe certificate. When you download this wallet, and we don't do iOS, we don't do Google Android, it's Windows or Mac OS or Linux. But typically, like if you went and downloaded a Bitcoin Core wallet or Digibyte or any of these, Z Classic, any of them, I believe, that are based on the QT wallet, you're going to be warned, hey, this could be a bad virus. It could be something bad for your computer. And that makes you then go into your settings and go to your security and then click on it and say it's not a virus, continue to, and then sometimes you have to hit it again to go through. What a pain in the ass. Ours has a safe certificate saying that we are a real organization, we're responsible for this, and that it's been audited and there are no viruses. And so ours is one of the only Bitcoin Core wallets, and we're not a token on the back of Bitcoin, you understand. There are tokens, which are on the back of Ethereum or whatever, or there are coins. This is a coin. It has its own native blockchain. It has its own native coin, which we call digital gold, DGD. So when you download for Windows or Mac or Linux, and that's all you have to do, hover over these and click on the one that is right for you, you're going to download a wallet. Now, a wallet to us is a node. It's a node. Remember how Bitcoin started. It started really from BitTorrent. Bram Cohen's amazingly brilliant genius idea of decentralized computing. Now, what does that mean? Well, Napster had come along and you could download music and you could listen to pretty much any song you wanted, but those songs were being stored and you could upload songs on a central computer in Palo Alto. John Hummer had become CEO. They'd raised at like $1 billion valuation. Hummer Winblad, John Hummer's company in Seattle, the venture firm, paved the way for that. They tried to do deals with the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. No dice. The feds came in, unplugged their computers, and it was over. So along comes Bram Cohen. And this is pretty brilliant. Bram creates a decentralized computer system where you stored little bits of a song or a movie or a TV show, whatever, little bits on each computer that plugged in. And each computer that plugged in had a media player. And so your payoff for plugging in was that you could enjoy media. And the idea was that you wouldn't store a whole song on your computer, but little bits of it. And everybody has these bits, different bits, but multiple people have the same bits. And when I ask for it in my media player, it would call out and say, hey, who's got these bits? And it would call for those bits. And those bits would come in as a torrent, just a torrent of bits filling my pipe. And I could listen to the song, watch the TV show, listen to the movie, watch the movie. That was brilliant. And 167 million, I heard is the number of people globally downloaded a media player from Kazaa or download.com or Pirate Bay or Mininova or Supernova or any of these others. And they shared this BitTorrent software underneath the covers. Well, that was the largest decentralized computer network in history. Now, the brilliant thing about it is that you cannot take it down. You can't, because you play whack-a-mole. You take down these, well, 2 more pop up, 10 more pop up, 5. It's like a multi-headed hydra. You can't shut it down. So Satoshi comes along and writes this white paper and says that he wants to create a decentralized computer network made of nodes like BitTorrent, but we're going to have, instead of a media player, a wallet. And that wallet is going to allow you to send a native currency to that blockchain from wallet to wallet, and a ledger being kept on each one of these wallets. Ours are full nodes. When you download this, it might take you, depending on internet speed, 5 minutes to an hour to download all 650,000 blocks. You're like a bank ledger. Every one of us shares this. So no one can counterfeit, no one can double spend, can't reverse transactions. It's the ledger keeps track of it. Every fraction of a coin, every fraction of a DGD. So that's what you're doing. When you're downloading one of these wallets, you're becoming a full node, a full ledger on this system, keeping track and keeping it all safe and secure. And also speed. The more of these things there are, let's say that we only had 5 nodes, and you come on and you want to download the software. Well, the software is coming from these 5 different nodes only. But what if we had 500 nodes or 5,000 nodes or 50,000 nodes or 500,000 or 5 million nodes, God bless us, 50 million nodes? Very fast. You're getting it from all of them. Okay? So that's why it's important that when you download a wallet, you leave it on. You let it run, because now you're securing the network. You're making the network more valuable. And remember that the way that we judge value with the digital gold standard benchmark, the crypto fair value of a coin is based on 70% adoption, 10% each for transactions and transaction value, and 10% developer ecosystem. All these things are critical. But adoption is the big one. That's the big one. 70%. If you don't have adoption, you've got nothing. Tribe.net was the best social network until MySpace came along. Friendster came along and killed it. And then Friendster was the top social network until MySpace came along and took all their traffic when Tila Tequila went over to MySpace. And then MySpace was great until Rupert Murdoch bought it and shoved ads down everyone's throat. And then along comes Facebook with no ads. And then Facebook became great until they became absolute evil and shut down your freedom of speech against their constitutional rights here in the United States anyhow. And then X became great because Twitter, who was doing the same thing, got canceled essentially by Elon Musk when he bought it. And now X is the #1 platform. Adoption is everything. You can have the greatest product in the world, but without adoption, you have nothing. So we value it at 70%. So as a result of that, when you download a wallet, you're adding to the value of the coin. Now, this is something that makes digital gold different than all other coins. I've studied this space since 2012. That's 14 years. And I've looked at why have coins not succeeded? Why have they not succeeded? And one of the things is that they get on these exchanges and now it's not about money anymore. Now it's just gambling. It's just speculation. You're hoping to buy this coin and sell it for more, but you're not really thinking about spending it. One of the problems with spending it is you've got to get on those first data rails. You've got to get on those VeriSigns. You've got to be able to tap your phone at Walmart or the gas station or the country store or the hair salon or wherever, just the same as you would insert a Visa card, MasterCard, Diners, Discover, American Express. And if you can't get on those rails, of course, then we're stuck. And Silk Road was a bad place as far as the illegal activity, but at least you were allowed to spend Bitcoin. And so that's why we're starting on July 4th. We hope to open our marketplace called Kryptons, and it's going to be a place where you can spend digital gold or accept digital gold if you're selling things. And it'll be like a Craigslist. We're also going to allow you to spend the other 12 coins that we love. This then makes them money. Now we're going to start with a Craigslist, but then we're going to have an auction site like eBay. I want an Etsy place where people can buy and sell crafts. I want an Amazon-like store where people can set up their own storefront and say which of these coins, digital gold or these other 12, you want to accept as payment. And then the people that are buying can purchase in those coins. That is what this is all about, people. That's what this amazing technology is all about. Spending, not speculation. Spending, not speculation. So now, think about this now, okay? So now we've got people spending, that's great. But there's something called a crypto fair value, like I said. And you can find out all about this at the digitalgoldfoundation.org website. And I've written 5 books now. I had 4, and now I have a 5th one, which is essentially crypto for beginners. But I've got a book called Cryptocurrency Analysis, like Security Analysis, or what's it called? Security Analysis by Benjamin Graham. It's about a 1,000-page book. And it goes through the whole history of money. It goes through the whole history of crypto. It goes through everything, ending up with how do you value current layer 1 coins? Because right now, if Bitcoin goes down, they go down. If Bitcoin goes up, they may go up, okay? But looking at these amazing coins like Dash, like Digibyte, like EGLD, like Internet Computer, like Near Protocol, like Ravencoin, like Chia, like eCash, like Nano, like Monero, like Z Classic, like Cardano. When I look at these coins, they're not being valued at all the way Bitcoin seems to be valued. Now, we took Bitcoin in 2024, December, and we looked at it. Had just hit 100 grand, 1.983 trillion in market cap, 29.87 or whatever, or sorry, 19.873 million coins at 100 grand. It was 1.9873 trillion dollars. And I said, great, but what's underneath it? And it turned out there were 80 million users. So that's what we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to 80 million users with this coin so that it would have value equal to Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin was worth 2 trillion with 80 million users, well, if we get to 80 million users, why wouldn't we be worth 2 trillion? Right? Okay. If we have that many coins in circulation. Now, 2 million coins are staked just so we don't get 51% attacked by the foundation, and we'll be forever. And I took all those coins that I had paid $1 million to create, and I donated almost all of them to the foundation. I kept 1 million coins just like Satoshi did. Hey, I created this. I'm not going to sell them. You guys can see my address in the rich list. I'm like Satoshi. They're locked away. That's just my way of saying I believe in this. I could sell them. I could spend them. I'm not going to. They're going to be there 5, 10, 20 years from now. They're not going anywhere. 2 million coins are staked. Those will never be counted in circulation. Never. They're not going to be circulating. It'll prevent a 51% attack. So that's 3 million out of 21 that are locked up. Now there's a little over 1 million coins that were given out to, I told you I had like 20 people working on this, and at this point it's more like 30 people. Now your ambassadors are coming on, and those people split up about 1 million coins. Okay? That's it. Those are all the whales you're ever going to see, and we're all dedicated to this project and have been working on this for years. So 5 million coins are going to go to my coin fund. If you go to digitalgold.co, you'll see that I'm raising $1 billion fund to invest in these 12 coins and DGD. Then I'm raising $5 billion, same thing. And then I'm going to raise $15 billion, probably from the public markets. And in all these cases, 80% of that will be to buy up those 12 coins plus DGD. In total, 5 million of those coins will end up locked up forever in that fund, because I think it'll add great value to the shareholders. I shouldn't say shareholders, though it is considered security, the token holders. And it's going to be on the Chia blockchain. Shout out to Bram and Gene and team. And we're going to be opening that up to have people apply and reserve coins starting on Tuesday. And then the following month, we start taking money and we start buying coins. Okay. 5 million of those DGD are set aside for that fund to buy and lock up forever. 2 million are staked forever, and my 1 million aren't going anywhere. That's 8. That only leaves 13 million coins. And like I said, about 1.25 million are out amongst this group of people that they don't need the money because they're part of my coin fund. We're going to make money by making money for the investors. We get something called carried interest, which is to say 20% of the profits they make. So they're not going to be selling them. So ultimately, really, there's only going to be about 12 million coins that will ever fully be in circulation, like half of what Bitcoin has. Okay, so when you download a wallet and you run your wallet, you're a node on the system. But I also want you to sign up for an account. You go in here and you can either purchase DGD, and right now we're giving 2 for 1, or you can click refer, which means that you just want to refer people. Now for you ambassadors, that's all you have to do. So let's presume that you've already downloaded your digital gold wallet. I'm going to get mine running in the background. It'll run in the background here. And you just want to refer people. Well, this is a way that you can earn an unlimited, nearly, amount of DGD. How do you do that? You can create a referral code, and then you can share that. And when people come in and click that and buy DGD, and they start, I'm calling it validating, which I'll teach you in a minute, when they start validating at each level, because you can't just go in there and buy, I want $1,000 worth of DGD. Well, first of all, the limit's $500 per account, but $500 means that you're going to be able to buy at each level as they're given out, which I'm going to show you how they're given out until that money's gone, and then you can put in more money if you want. Most of the DGD comes the earlier the levels, and I'll show you this too. So if you were going to put in 500 and you've got 5 machines, I'd say put 100 on each machine, spread it out, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. But if you're going to set up a referral account only, which is all you have to do, you can purchase, God bless you, validate, you'll get more coins. But if all you're going to do is just refer other people and be, as ambassadors, this is where you're going to earn 10% as much DGD as they validate. Not out of theirs, out of the foundation, you're going to get 10% as much. So if I validate, I put up enough money to get 100 DGD over the levels, you would get 10 DGD. As I get my 100, you get yours. Okay? If I get 1, you get 0.1, at each level. So that's how you guys earn. So I'm going to hit refer only, and I'm going to say continue. And it's going to say create a username and password. This is your Digital Gold X account. Now understand that when you're creating this is not, if someone hacks in here, they can't touch your DGD. If someone hacks in here, they can't take away from the DGD you're going to get. This is not your wallet. We'll show you a wallet balance here of how much DGD you've earned, how much DGD you've purchased, but this isn't your DGD, folks. Your DGD is only in your digital gold wallet that you download, okay? So first, create a username. And when you're creating a username, this becomes your referral code. So when you tell somebody, hey, put in referral code Superman or whatever, so that you'll get 2 for 1 on your validation. So if you put up $10, you're getting $20 worth, but only if you come through here. Now for the month of May, you're getting double anyway, but I think that we're still gonna have you double that. So right now, if you go through a referral code, you'll get twice as much as in credit as you put up in cash, $10 or more, but you will also get double because it's the month of May. So you can get 4 times. So you put up $10, you get $40 in credit if you go through a referral code. Okay, so I'm going to make my referral code Superman DGD, okay? Superman DGD. So that's when I tell people, hey, use this referral code, I just tell them put in Superman DGD. Now I need a password. So I'm going to create a password here. And I want you to notice it needs 8 characters, at least 1 uppercase letter, 1 special character, okay? And now I'm going to confirm my password, okay? And now it needs my email. So I'm going to say John at digitalgoldfoundation.org, okay? You guys know my email now. Referral code, if I had one, This is where your friend would put theirs in, but I don't have one. So now I'm going to say next step. And now it's saying, open your digital gold wallet and paste your DGD receiving address in this form. Okay, now understand, anytime that you're creating a new wallet address for someone to send you money, DGD, you can create a new address. And this is as easy as it is. It says here I've got 1,500 DGD. And this is, when I'm sending you guys DGD, I don't send it from the main wallet that has all those coins. I put some coins in a smaller wallet. So if this computer got hacked, the other one's offline all the time. But if this one got hacked, then you guys, that's the most coins I'm ever going to lose if somebody got into my computer. So now I need to create a receiving address. So I click receive, and then it says create new receiving address. So I click receive, okay? And then I say copy address, and I hit okay, okay? And you see I've shown a lot of people how to do this, a lot of people. So now I've got my address. That's all I needed, okay? And I hit paste. And there it is. That's my DGD address. There it is. And now I hit register. And that's it. I'm done. I'm going to say not now. Okay. And now I'm Superman DGD. My earned DGD at this point is 0. Current earned level is 0. Now, when do my coins appear? I want to be clear about this, guys. Don't think that if you go and, someone comes in and buys some, boom, you get DGD. No. Nobody gets DGD until we hit the next level. And then when they get DGD, you'll get DGD. So if I wanted to share this on X, I could click it, or I could just copy the address. Or I could highlight it and copy it, but I suggest you click copy address. Now, when I go to X or Facebook or Instagram or wherever I want to do this, I simply post this into this as a link. And when someone clicks that link, you're going to get credit. Okay? And it tells you when will the coins appear. All this is in here. There's the DGD address that I've created. My balance is 0. I haven't validated anything. I haven't put any money in. Okay? But that's it. Now, let me show you how this works. Right now, we're at level 1,339. And I'm hoping that today we get 50 to 100 new signups. That would be great. And I'll show you how this works. We're at level 26, price is $4.40. At level 1, with 1,000 accounts, the network grows to 80 million over 1,000 levels. We started at $3.40 about a month ago. Now we're at $4.40. We're going to grow to 100,000 per DGD. Current market cap's 32. It started at about 24, 27 million, because we only count the coins in circulation times this amount. Okay, and you can learn more about this. So this is how it works. Every time we get 1.14 approximately % more nodes, more wallets, more accounts sign up and download a node, a wallet, the price of DGD grows about 1.3.5%. So we started, and then actually we started 2 years ago and we had over 1,000 accounts. But then I got busy writing my book and seeing if the CFV thing was right, and starting the podcast and talking to all the OGs in the space and seeing, if their CFV I created for them was correct. And here we are a year and a half later, and most of these people probably don't even know that we're back up and running. But when they got into it, it was a nickel. Okay. First, so this is how it works. At each level, we release about 1,000 coins. So at level 1, when we first put this out, the price was $3.40, and each of these 1,000 people got 1 coin. Because it's the most fair distribution method ever. Ever. To participate, you can validate by putting up money, and we'll pull from your account. At the next level, we had to reach 11 more people. So we moved from 1,000 to 1,011. And the price then was $3.44. And at this point, we're dividing about 1,000 coins divided by 1,011 people. Because there's about 1,000 coins that comes out each level. So you can see that as we reach higher and higher numbers here, The price goes up accordingly based on crypto fair value. And you see you get a few less coins, a few less coins, a few less coins. Now, if some of these people don't validate, it just goes right, if there was no money in your account to validate, it just goes back into the foundation to give away as, when you guys are referring people to this podcast. When you share this podcast, where do those coins come from? Well, they're unvalidated coins that now we're distributing through participation. The participation then is you actually sharing this, okay? So here we go. 0.971 would cost you 344, would cost you 345, would cost you 346, 347, etc., etc., etc. And that's how it grows, guys. That's how it grows. And we subtract this much from your account until your account reaches zero. And let's say that you had made it up here to where we are now. We're at, I think, 440. We're right about here at level 26. Okay, let's say that when we hit level 27 with 1342 people, which I hope we hit today, you only had 30 cents left in your account, or 36.6 cents, let's say. Well, you'd still get 0.1 DGD, but now you have no balance. And if you want to, you can add more money to your account, or you can just stop validating. You're done. Okay, so what happens is we move up here, and when we reach 2,000 people, so we've moved up 1,000 from when we started. Now we're 644. But now you're getting about 0.629 coins per level for about $4. And when we get up to 3,000, and I'll tell you, my goal right now is that by June 1st, I would very much like to move this up 1,000 accounts. I hope we can do it. Right now we're at, I said 440. Whoops, go back one more. Right now we're at like 1330. I want to see us at 2330 by June 1st, because we've got a lot of things going on with the Tang Gang and with you ambassadors and all the rest. So this is my goal for us, is that we're going to get up here to about 2330. Well, at that point, we're at level 76. It's now $7.36 per coin. Okay, we're now a $54 million company, still way, way, way down on the coin market cap list. Okay, you're getting about 0.57 for about $4.20. Now, my goal for July 1st, because Tang Gang will be rolling and everything else, is that we have no less than 4,500. And my real goal is 5,000. So what does that mean? That means that by July 1st, I would like us to have 5,000 nodes out there, 4,000 to 5,000 live nodes running at all times. And we should be about 1484 a coin. But at this point, these 5,000 people are splitting up, and we do add a few more coins. It's not 1,000. It goes up just a little bit, but it goes up less than this percentage. So at that point, you're getting about a third of a DGD. And it'll cost you about $5 because they're about $15 a piece. Now, my goal, by the way, for the end of the year, by January 1st, I want to reach $1,000 a coin. Okay? Still a long way away from $100,000 a coin. But I want to reach $1,000 a coin. And that means we need to reach 500,000 users by January 1st. That's my goal. And at that point, you're getting 0.0161498 for 1617 per level. But that's what it takes, 500,000 new accounts to get us to $1,000 per coin. Okay? Now, right now, if I click on the Explorer, you'll see down here in the bottom, we have 100 connections. We actually had 100. We had 111 live connections yesterday, which was a record. But man, I would love to see from this broadcast, from you ambassadors going out and sharing, from all that you guys can do. There's at least 24 of you that want to be ambassadors. I hope 100 of you on this podcast want to sign up as ambassadors today. If you do sign up as ambassadors, 100 of you, and you go and tell everybody, and you each just got one person, we could easily go up 100 connections. If you're part of the 5,000 people that follow me, and you don't want to buy any, but you want to refer your friends to buy some, so you earn it that way, fantastic. 100 new connections. If you don't want to refer your friends to buy, you don't want to buy any yourself, but you want to earn it by sharing my podcasts, sharing my posts. When I say And it's not every post, but when I say, hey, share this and earn a DGD, and you share it and you send me, DM me your DGD address, I will send you some because you're now a node. Oh, there's 101. We just got a new node. I love it. I love it. All right. This is fantastic. I want to see this go to 1,000 nodes by June 1st. That is my goal for all of you. That is my goal for you guys. Okay. Let me see something here. I'm just going to go to my home page for X. How many people are watching this right now? There's 500 of you in here. Holy shit. Wow. Hi, welcome, guys. There's 500 of you. Wow. If all 500 of you were to go and download a wallet right now, that would push us up by 500 nodes. Unbelievable, guys. And if you guys share this podcast, I will send you a DGD. And now you've got a DGD and you can forget about it. Just keep running your node, please. Because in January, I hope it's worth $1,000 just for running a node. And by the way, my goal is that after we hit that $1,000 goal, my next goal, $500,000, is that by the following year, I want us to reach 5 million people by the end of 2027. So let's see what that does to the price when we get to 5 million nodes. Okay. And by the way, Bitcoin has 28,000 nodes. Anything over 500,000, I think that's what Ethereum had before they went to proof of stake. But anything over 500,000 nodes, we're the biggest decentralized private money network in the world ever, as far as decentralization. When we reached 5 million, only BitTorrent had more decentralized nodes. And again, that was a music player. That wasn't the token that Justin Sun did. Well, at that point, guys, we're at level 755. We're closing in on level 1,000. And we're $8,000 a coin. And at that point, we're $93 billion. At that point, we're one of the top 3 most valuable coins in the world. I should point out that at $1,000 a coin, let me get back to that. One more, I think. At $1,000 a coin, we're at $10 billion market cap. That, I think, puts us in the top 10. So by January, I want DGD to be a top 10 coin. And by the time we hit 5 million users, did I pass it? I might have passed it. Nope, there you go. $8,000 a coin. Isn't that nice? You run a node for us. You get your friends to run nodes. Maybe you refer some friends, but even if you don't, even if all you do is run a node and earn your 1 free DGD, repost some of my podcasts. Now, I'm not going to give you guys 1 DGD every single podcast forever because obviously right now they're worth $5. It'll probably stay like that. So at some point when the coin price doubles, I'll probably be giving half of a DGD to repost the podcast and then a quarter of a DGD, etc. But you could rack up 10, 20 DGD by the end of the year. And that's 10 or 20 grand. But when we hit 500,000, and again, not a prediction, but my hope is 2028, January, that we hit 5 million. If you've got 10 or 100 of these things, that's $80,000 to $800,000, guys, that you can go spend at our stores. Or you can trade you can transact, you can sell it. Remember too that we've got to pick up those 5 million coins total for my coin funds. Coin Fund 1 is going to spend about 60 million on coins. Coin Fund 2 on every one of the 12 coins plus DGD. The next one's going to be about $300 million worth of coins. The next one, we have to buy up almost 1 billion coins. So as long as my coin fund works out, even if there isn't other demand in the market, which, there should be with that 5 million people, there should be demand. But even if there isn't, we will purchase them. The fund will buy them. And they'll buy them from users first to make sure that there is liquidity because you have to get that rolling. Okay, so 2029, January of 2029, I want to hit 50 million. Okay, and that means 65,000 a coin. Little less than what the price of Bitcoin is right now. Okay, That's my goal. And now we're closing in. And I would say that we can double those numbers by the end. So January of 2030, we're looking a ways out now, 4 years out from now. I want to hit 80 million. And at 80 million, we are $100,000 a coin. Now, I only put us at 1.9 trillion because there are only 19 million coins in circulation. Remember, 2 million will always be staked by the foundation and will always be keeping it safe from a 51% attack. Even Michael Saylor right now has about 4% of the total Bitcoin. To get 51% is, God, darn near impossible. You'd have to buy $1 trillion worth. But anyway, we're going to keep 2 million always perpetually staked. Now, the question then is, what happens after level 1,000? Well, we continue to adjust the price every month. And every month, on the first of the month at noon Eastern time, we're going to look at the total number of nodes and accounts that we have out there, holders of digital gold, same way that we look for the numbers at others, and I'll explain that a little more. But there's no more inflation. There are no more coins entering circulation. That's over. Because here's the thing, if we kept it at $100,000 per coin, the problem with that is inflation. In my book, you'll read that since 1913, the dollar has lost 97% of its value. And historically, it loses at just 2% inflation a year, it loses half its buying power every 35 years. And it's accelerated. It's probably every 10 or 20 years now. So the dollar is just collapsing for spending power. So what we will do is we will continue to increase this the same way every time it moves up about 1.5%, the price, or 1%, the coin moves up about a 1.5%. Now, how do we keep that? Okay, I'm working with Unstoppable Wallet. I'm going to be working with the Ravencoin Ice Wallet. We're going to have our own wallet. We're going to have our own trading platform. We're going to be working with the decentralized exchanges and ultimately with the centralized exchanges. And they, using smart contracts, or we have different ways of doing it, will never have a bid or an ask. The exchanges are not to have a bid-ask system. When you go and get US dollars, and I don't mean USDC or USDT, I'm just talking about US dollars, it doesn't move in price. Maybe on the foreign exchange markets compared to other currencies, but it doesn't move. $1 is $1, period. Well, one DGD is one DGD. It doesn't move up and down. And the value is this is historic. This is one of the things I saw broken in the use of cryptocurrency, is a merchant isn't going to take it if they sell you the t-shirt for $20 and then at the end of the day that coin is only worth $10. Then it forces you to immediately transact it back into a stable coin, which is really a digital US dollar or euro or yen or yuan or whatever. But now you haven't gotten away from that system. Ludwig van Mises, an Austrian economist, said that we needed competing currencies. And I agree with this. If the dollar has to compete, maybe they won't inflate it so much. Maybe it'll make the dollar act better. Maybe they'll be more frugal. Maybe they'll call in dollars. Maybe they'll make it more scarce because they have to compete with the 12 coins that we'll promote plus the DGD. So understand that when this goes on exchanges, those exchanges will be working with us that they don't move the price. The price points towards the Explorer, and the Explorer, based on this chart, 1 through 1,000, and then on the first of each month it adjusts it. That's it. And if the World Economic Forum people don't get their way and kill 750 million of us and drive our numbers down to 450 million, which they say is the right number of people on the planet, what the fuck? Okay, but that's what they say. But as long as they don't, 80 million that's 1% of 8 billion. For this to become ubiquitous across the world, it could grow 100x from here. So as it grows every month, we will keep track of it. Now, part of that is our Digital Gold Foundation, self-regulating organization. We've pushed Senate Bill 1649. Arizona is the first state that if their governor signs it into law, we will have the digital gold standard benchmark of how to figure out a coin's value made into law. And right now, I'm working with House and Senate members and assemblymen and women across 26 states. It's now passed over half the country. I've got to load all their names up onto the Digital Gold Foundation website, but we now have half the nation's senators and House members. I plan on going to something called ALEC as a guest, where I'm going to be in front of 5,000 of them. And the model legislation I'll be promoting will be that all of them accept digital gold standard benchmark as fair value. Dash is really worth like $8,000 right now. Okay. These coins have higher values if you use this metric, this system, comparing to what Bitcoin had under it back in December 2024. So I'll be talking to 5,000 of them, and I want model legislation taken back to every state that's first of all going to recognize the digital gold standard benchmark and crypto fair value. Number two, I need all of the exchanges forced to show us their Merkle tree. We don't want to know who owns Bitcoin or Digibyte or Dash or whatever at these exchanges, but we want to know how many. And by showing us their Merkle tree, it gives away nothing, and it just proves they have the number of users they say they do. Number three, we need audited transactions and transaction value, because if you go to CoinMarketCap, it'll tell you that LBank is a top 20 exchange that does billions of dollars a day. I went to Dubai for months. We listed our coin there. We spent $300,000 to have this, not this, but a different version of this coin listed there in front of their millions of users. It was bullshit. That's their whole business plan, is to fake people out like me that create a coin to go and pay them hundreds of thousands to get in front of millions of people spending billions of dollars trading every day, rather, and they're phantoms. And then what are you going to do? They're in Dubai. You can't extradite them. You can't sue them. You're just done. You lost. So we want to know real transactions through audits, real transaction value. Wash trades happen when I have a coin here and I have a USDT here, and I just trade it back and forth with no exchange fees, so I can do it for free, and I create millions and millions of dollars in transactions, and it looks like this has a lot of liquidity, and that's really bad for the user, because they may think they can buy $1 million worth of something and then sell it, but there's no liquidity because that was all fake. And you wouldn't get people on those exchanges if they didn't have that fake value. Binance, by the way, in the last month said that they were going to stop this wash trading, which means they're aware of it. They're aware of it. And if they charge transaction fees, the people that are doing this couldn't afford to do this. So it's scamming. So I want model legislation that says, recognize digital gold standard benchmark crypto fair value, show us the Merkle tree so we know exactly how many people really own a coin at an exchange, show us the audits that show us the transaction and transaction value are real. And then I also want onto the exchanges, or rather the point of sale systems. Now, hopefully, legislation won't be entirely necessary. The 12 coins plus DGD and anyone else that wants to will be able to get the APIs into the wallets so that they can transact, switch the money on the DEX, give the merchant what they want, dollars or yen or whatever, and it flows without the person having to understand how it works. Click, it just works. Just like right now, I click my Apple Pay, boom, I get my groceries, I get my gas, I just tap it. Well, we want that, but I don't think they're going to let us, because they make $250 billion a year, $250 billion, $250 billion a year they make by charging the merchant a percentage. Now, maybe we have to let that part roll to get them to let us use it. But in my book, I talk about how MCI, Microwave Communication Incorporated, MCI, later became MCI WorldCom, later became MCI Communications, that company sued AT&T back in the 70s, saying, we can't compete in long distance and you're overcharging everybody. Why is it a percentage anyway? You know, discount brokers used to charge 1% on the buy and 1% on the sell. Why? It doesn't cost more to trade $1 million than $10. And now it's all $8 or free trades. Broke that industry's back. Well, right now it's a percentage, and that seems unfair. But MCI sued AT&T, and not only did they win damages of $600 million, and because AT&T knew it was doing it, they got triple damages, $1.8 trillion or $1 billion. Later, it was appealed down to 144 million. But the main thing is that MCI got to use the billions of dollars worth of long distance infrastructure, the telephone lines, the telephone poles, all of that, the switchboards, everything, because they couldn't afford to buy it or build it, so they got to use it. So we want legislation that says cryptocurrency gets to use it, because it would cost tens of billions to create it to get into 110 million merchants. It's too much. So we want to be able to use that just like anybody else, like Apple can use it with Apple Pay. We want to use it. Now, if they don't let us, I want that in legislation that says they have to. And that way it's legislated in each state that, Verifone or whatever, they won't be able to do business in that state if they don't allow us on there. Because we need this spendable everywhere. Or else the only way you can spend DGD is to trade it back into dollars and then go get your milk and eggs and butter. No, I want you to just go get it with DGD, and then you don't have to put it back into dollars or yen or yuan or euros or whatever. So that's another part of the legislation. And then the final thing is going to be something that was brought up because of eCash. Everyone knows that eCash was created by David Chaum decades ago. He dropped the trademark. It was picked up by Amore and the people that had started Bitcoin Cash, and they started using it under the ticker XEC, and everyone knows it. And they got e.cash as their domain name. Well, now we've got some joker named Paul who went and spent 170 grand like a fucking idiot, and he got ecash.com thinking now that gives him right. That's like saying I bought Coca-Cola.com so now I can make caramelized colored fizzy drinks with caffeine in them. No, you can't. Because you own the .com? Are you retarded? Are you retarded? So no, you can't. And so now he's trying to cyber squat on the domain. He even offered it for sale, I guess, from Amari. That's what I heard. Don't know this. That's what I heard. Which is cyber squatting. So we're going after that. We're asking the people that are in charge to give us that domain as damages. Us being the eCash group, okay? But we want a name registry, and we're going to start this at the Digital Gold Foundation self-regulating organization, that the first person, first use in commerce, not first to file. If you use it in commerce and you can prove it, it's your trademark. Now you can have United Airlines, United Van Lines, United Metals, United Methodist Church, and no one's infringing because no one's confused. You don't go to the church and say, hey, where do I get on the airplane? Where do I drop off my metal? Where do I rent my car? No. There's no confusion in the marketplace. But when you do a hard fork of Bitcoin, just like eCash had, and you call it eCash, there's absolute confusion in the marketplace. And the coin fund's going to be buying this. We're not interested in this. And even if the coin fund wasn't buying it, you can't do that. So those are the laws that we want put in place. And that's what we're going after. So understand, guys, that if you want to learn about digital gold, go to digitalgoldx.com and click on About. And it'll tell you it's wealth preserving money. It's supposed to keep up with inflation. This is not speculation. This is you buying this and sticking with this, okay? Now, and sticking with it means keep it in your wallet and spend it, okay? Build the largest decentralized financial network in the world. That is our goal. That is why the coin has value, is because it is sitting on top of what will be, if we're successful, the largest decentralized financial network in history. And it's the first predictably priced crypto, because you can go to stats and see what the price is, and you see what the next price is going to be. And it doesn't fluctuate. And people can say, oh yeah, well, someone else can stick it on an exchange and sell it for less. Yeah, maybe. But you know what? It's going to happen. It's going to get arbitrage. Someone's going to end up buying it up and then selling it. Oh, but somebody could put it on and sell it for more. God bless you. But people don't have to pay more. They can just go to an exchange where it's trading at the real price. So understand that these are two things that no other coin has ever had, which is proof of participation. When you share that podcast, this podcast, when you share posts, when you tell your friends, you're participating. When you just download a node and plug it in, you're participating. And you're building value because you're helping build the largest decentralized financial network in the world through your participation. This is the first proof of participation coin. And I could say that these glasses are worth 20 grand, but unless someone's willing to pay me 20 grand, they're not. So when you validate, I say the coin price is $4.40. Well, a bunch of you put up money and you bought your share at that level. Well, then it is. And if 1 million people came and gave me bought these off me for 10 grand, and I sold another pair and another pair and another pair, 10 grand, well, then that must be the price. But it's not that price until someone pays it. And so there's participation and there's validation. And at every level, in order for us to go up from one level to the next, we have to grow the node network by 1.13651847%. And over 1,000 levels, that will turn 1,000 into 80 million. Okay? And when we go to the next level is the only time new coins are released. And they're only released to people that are validating, that have a positive balance in their account. And when that happens, it increases in value by 1.0352200547704%, because that is what takes the price from its initial $3.34 or whatever it was, $3.40, takes it to $100,000 over 1,000 levels. And so these aren't arbitrary numbers. This is what it takes to reach parity to Bitcoin when we have as many users as Bitcoin. Okay? Now you can join for as little as $10. The maximum we allow anybody to come in is $500 rather, because after that, you're into the weeds out here and you're getting less and less and less. If you're going to put down more than $500, do it on 2 or 3 or 4 machines. Now, there were some people that came in and put in thousands of dollars, and I contacted them and I made it right. I gave them some DGD because they didn't understand they should be on multiple computers or don't put up that kind of money. The average person puts in about $100. But when you put in $10, you're going to get $20 worth of credit for the month of May. That ends June 1st. Only for right now, whatever you put up, even the $500, will give you $1,000 in credit then. That's it. Now, if you come through a referral link, we're going to set it up so that you get double forever. That's how it'll be. For the rest of this month, you'll get double on the double, so you'll get 4 times. But the reason that we're going to remove the double rewards and say you have to come through refer is because if I know I'm going to get double my rewards, my credit for validation, if I go through a referral link that you sent me, I'm damn sure going to go through that referral link. But if not, I might just forget it and go through the front door myself, because why not? And then you don't get your credit. You don't earn your 10% as much DGD as I'm validating. Okay? So we're going to make sure that when you guys put out these referral links, you can tell people use this referral link to get twice the credit on your DGD validation. Okay, so members with sufficient balances are rewarded with DGD as they validate each level. We take USDC or T, we take US dollars in the form of Visa, MasterCard, American Express. I don't think we do Diners Club, but we do Apple Pay and Google Pay. Okay, and so that's how it works. Merchant adoption is going to be a big deal. So as members, the next step will be that when you guys go and sign up merchants to take digital gold, once we have it in the payment systems and the APIs are all connected, you guys are going to be able to earn money signing up merchants. And the merchants are going to be able to earn DGD signing up merchants. Now, for merchants, this is a no-brainer because they've got a coin that is not going down in value. It only goes up in value. So they sell you a $20 t-shirt. At the end of the day, it might be worth $2.20, or sorry, $22. An extra $2, 10% more, okay? It might be worth $26, whatever it is. If they hold it for a month or two, it might be $30 or $40 that they got. But this way, they don't have to immediately turn it back into a stable currency. And ultimately, my ultimate goal, because this is when DGD is truly money, is when the merchant can pay their supplier. So imagine you're a retail lumber seller and you sell it for DGD, your lumber, dimensional lumber, plywood, whatever. You turn around and you pay your wholesaler DGD and they accept it. Well, then I didn't, as a retailer, I have to turn it into dollars to pay them. Well, and then if we can follow that down, the wholesaler turns around and pays the lumber yard that cut it into dimensional lumber. And they pay them in DGD. They didn't have to turn it into dollars. And then the lumber mill turns around and they pay the people selling them the lumber, the raw trees. And then they could turn around and they could pay the choke setters and the helicopter loggers and the truck drivers and their secretary and the cleaning service and everything. And now what have you done? You've now made it so that you spend DGD all the way through the supply chain, all the way back from retail to raw material. I think that's going to take 10 or 15 years maybe. Bitcoin's that old, 17 now. So within 10 to 15 years, I see a day when you don't ever turn DGD back into dollars to buy things, and the merchant restocks their shelves with DGD, and the wholesaler and the manufacturer and the people all the way back to the farms that are creating the wheat that is turned into flour, that is sent off to Nabisco, that's turned into cookies, that's sent to the wholesaler, that's sent to the retailer, and you go buy the cookies. I want everybody paid in DGD all the way back. So merchant adoption is really, really big. And like I say, once we reach parity to Bitcoin, it'll go up on the first of each month, noon Eastern Standard Time. Exchange listings, like I said, this is a first. We're not looking for bid ask. We're looking for exchanges that are going to list it at the set price. And they may have to use smart contracts for that. So marketplace, July 4th. And Unstoppable Wallet's helping us with that. Okay. Trade it. Yes, we called this Digital Gold X because it's a place for you to exchange your DGD if you want to turn it back into dollars. We're going to allow you to do this. And you might have noticed that recently, I don't know if it was the Securities and Exchange Commissioner who said that you don't have to register with FINRA and all this and be an exchange if it's just P2P. There's no transaction fee and there's no market maker. Now, I've been saying this since my lawyer who wrote most of the Jobs Act wrote this, and I knew this back in 2017, but they finally have admitted it. So what we're going to do is act as an escrow company. That's our business. And we're going to charge not a percentage, it'll be a flat fee. 50 cents to buy, 50 cents to sell. So if you want to sell some of your DGD, you need it, whoever you're going to spend it on doesn't take DGD, they take dollars or whatever. No problem. You can come here, and because it's so hard to get, so scarce, I'm sure there'll be people wanting to buy it. And if those people don't want to buy it, hopefully the coin fund worked out and we'll be buyers as well. Now, on the marketplace, it's the same thing. We are going to act as an escrow so that when you send somebody a bicycle and you send it through the proper channels, so it's all logged by FedEx or UPS, it's got to be, so that when it arrives at your door, you have to sign for it so we know you got it. Then we release the money. We're just acting as an escrow. And again, it'll be 50 cents on both sides of the trade, just like with the trading of DGD. So the whole round trip for everybody is 50 cents each, $1 total is what we take. And of course, we're going to have service and support and everything because things will be lost anyway. And something's going to arrive and you ordered it as a medium and it ended up as a large or a small and it doesn't fit. Well, I don't know that there will be returns, but we will very quickly weed out those bad vendors. I don't know what else we can do, but we'll look into it. You know, eBay and others have figured it out. So again, check out the Explorer. We've got 105 connections now. Yay, we've got 4 more connections, 5 more since we started, and that's great. I'll take it. Okay. If you want to see the white paper, this is really worth reading. Everything that I told you today is in this white paper. If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them. Thoreau from Walden. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So you can read through here. You can understand exactly what it is that we've built. I share with you that we created this from 2014 to 2026. I don't just rush into things and just throw things on the wall and see what works. And when I have tried things in the past and they haven't worked out, I've learned. I've learned lessons about getting rugged, about giving out too many coins, about letting coins float out there too fast, about selling coins and whales being created. None of it is in this. Okay, we've repaired all of that. So GitHub, you can go there and you can see our GitHub. You can see it was created by the Black Coin team in 2024 for us. Okay, you can look through all of this. Black Coin has been around since 2014. They were the first proof of stake that was published. That's why I hired them. Okay, so you can check out the Explorer. You can check out the GitHub. What else do we have to look at here? What haven't I clicked on? The main thing you guys are going to be interested in, I know, is the stats. Oh, 1340 now. Yay, 2 more people and we're going to hit the next level, I believe. Stats is the big deal. Come down here and you'll see that at 1342, we go to the next level and the next set of DGD is passed out to people. Okay, and we pull 366 from their wallet because each of them can buy 0.823. And if anybody referred these people that are validating, they'll get 0.0823. Okay, so that is it. Now, all of you guys should go to the ambassadors group on Telegram. And I'm going to pull this up right here. Here we go. Ambassadors, where are you? Okay. Digital Gold Ambassadors. And I'm going to click on this group. And I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to invite group via link. And I'm going to copy this link. And into my X page, 637 of you. Yay. Into my X link here, I'm going to say ambassadors join the Telegram group here. And there's a link. And I'll tell you guys, you should all go join the group on Telegram, because this is where the people that are in this group are going to be able to learn from each other what's working. What are other people doing? You know, we've had some beautiful artwork created, I will say, okay? Some beautiful, beautiful artwork has been created. Let me go back to my home page here. I've got this pinned to the top. But for instance, we had this created. Where is it? Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Okay. So one of the ambassadors created this. This is the kind of stuff that you can do with AI right now. You can go create this beautiful stuff, but we're going to be sharing with each other what's working, what's making a splash, what's getting results for you. Okay? This is what you want to do. If you can create little AI videos telling people to come get digital gold and click on my link so that you get twice the rewards. And always make sure you tell people that. Let them know that when you click my referral link, you're going to get twice your DGD rewards. Okay, you put in $10, you're going to get $20 worth of credit at the account to validate. Okay, but this is gorgeous. This is so freaking beautiful. Okay, and this is what we're going to share at the Telegram group. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. But wow, 670 of you guys joined today. This is absolutely freaking amazing. And let's see here. Yes, nice, Hanny. And thank you for that. All right, got some love going back at you, DGK. DGD, Poseidon Crypto. That's the brilliant genius that created that ad. Yeah, he's a sweet ambassador. All right. D, what's up, brother? Yes. Okay, there's an ambassador program and you're invited. Absolutely. Absolutely right. DGD will be everywhere. I totally believe that. I totally do. Can people just download a wallet? You can. You can just go download a wallet. But here's the thing. If you're downloading a wallet, why wouldn't you set up a free referral account? Because if all you do is download a wallet, it doesn't count. We don't count it. We only count it when you set up an account. And again, you're not giving us your private email. You're not giving us any information about yourself. But when you go in there and you create an account and download a node and include your DG address, we go, yep, that's real. And we add to the ticker and we move up in levels. So don't just download a wallet and go refer people, because then you don't have a referral code either. Okay? Now, if you've already got a wallet or an account and you're downloading to multiple computers, still set up accounts, because you're now showing us you've got nodes, multiple nodes, because remember, that's what gives us value. Okay? Got you. All right. It's crazy, no? No, not crazy at all. Do you have vids or tutorials? No, but we'll create some. All really good questions. Really, really good questions. But the main thing is just sharing this podcast, earn some DGD. Go tell your friends and family. Let's get them in here. Let's grow this. You guys all have clear instructions. You can talk to me in the Telegram ambassadors group. There's a gentleman there who's the ambassador. You can look for who the owner is of that group, and you can talk to them. I'm going to be so busy raising the coin fund and doing podcasts and making stuff happen that I'm really going to start divorcing myself from sending the DGD. You're going to want to share your DGD address in the ambassador group, not here. I want everyone that shares the podcast to go be an ambassador. Why not? You're earning coins. You're participating. So, yeah, 700 of you guys have joined. That's so fantastic. It's $6.99 now. Let's get 700. There you go, 700. It's so great. And really, I started this about 12 after the hour. That's 700 people that joined this in the first hour. If all of you guys will go and download a wallet and go and sign up for an account, you could move us up by hundreds of nodes. And I would so appreciate it. You guys would be doing me such a solid favor. So much love. Okay? So, my cat's crashed out over here. I don't know if you guys can see him. Isn't he beautiful? Yeah. But you guys are beautiful too. I really appreciate you. And I know that there are coins out there that, there are people out there that don't believe in proof of stake and they don't believe in pre-mines. And I wanted to address that too before I hang up here. One of my friends, I'd like to say he's one of my heroes, is a guy named Jared Tate, who started Digibyte. And Digibyte, for me, is one of the best coins ever. It's proof of work. They did everything right. They didn't do a pre-mine at all. Jared didn't get a bunch of coins. It was completely fair how they started that. And they have 5 types of proof of work for security. They have a new DigiDollar that's coming out. That's the best stable currency I've ever heard of in my life. You can just essentially lock up your Digibyte, give yourself a loan, and go spend DigiDollars. I think it's brilliant. DigiID, DigiShield, they've got so much. But Binance has collected about 20 or 30% of it, according to Johnny Law at DGB. That's horrible. And every time that thing gets a green go, it gets a red candle ride to the bottom. Because for whatever reason, Binance doesn't want it to rise. And they won't let it onto Coinbase, and they won't let it onto Kraken, and they won't let it on Gemini or to Robinhood. So it's not getting the exposure it deserves. We think it's 1,000 times undervalued, and that's why the coin fund's going to buy it. And if they want to do a red candle ride to the bottom, that's fine. We'll just buy it all. And I hope that ultimately we can buy the whole 20 or 30% stake from Binance. But understand that'll never happen with our coin. Nobody is ever going to buy up 20 or 30% of our coin and control our coin. It's not going to happen. This coin is very, very, very safe. This coin is never going to get 51% attacked. This coin is never going to be controlled by China or some outside party that doesn't want us to succeed. That's never going to happen. We've designed it this way. We've designed it so that you guys can only buy a little bit at each level. You can't come in and say, I want $5,000 worth of this coin. Sorry, you can't. No, because then what happens when it's $1,000 a coin, you're dumping. That's what happens. And then it destroys price stability. So understand, we have set this thing up to be so very hard to get. You cannot easily accumulate a lot of DGD. And because it doesn't go up and down in value, you're not going to sell high and then buy low. None of it. This isn't an equity. This is not a security. This is not a speculative vehicle. If you sell it, our expectation is that if you sell it, you're never going to buy it back that cheap ever again. And that's going to stop people from thinking about selling it so quick. And when you need something, you really need something, I want you to be able to go and use it to buy. And when you start thinking about it as inflation-adjusted money, essentially, it's something that preserves your buying power. That's what it's about, folks. This is a coin that if you work hard, right now, if you work hard and you earn enough money to go buy a dozen eggs from your labor, there's a high likelihood that you're not going to be able to buy the same number of eggs in 20 years, chances are you're probably going to be able to buy a half dozen eggs for that same money. That's the point right there. That's the point right there. You're taught, or I was as a child, to save your money. Start a savings account so you can retire someday. So then you go and you put money into it every year for 40 years, and when you're finally ready to retire, you can buy half or less of the stuff that you were able to. And remember, if it halves every 20 years, which I think it is right now, then in 20 years you lose half, and the other 20 years you lose half of that. So by the time you're done and ready to retire, what you worked for is now buying 25%, 0.25 of what you used to be able to buy. That's why I started digital gold. That exactly is why I started digital gold. And when you read my book, shit, if you read the whole book, I'll give you a DGD. Holy shit. It's long. It's 1,100 pages. It's 1,100 pages. That book tells you all of this, guys. I'm just seeing if I can grab a copy of the book and show you guys here. That book tells you all of this. And I've got a shorter version. Don't worry. I've got a shorter version. The shorter version is about 250 pages. And it's for people that don't want to read 1,000 pages, for sure. I'm just opening this thing up for you guys here. I'll have to share my screen again with you guys. I'll do that. Share screen. Okay. So this is the book that I have finished, and it took me about 17 months to write. Okay. And it goes through everything. I've got that quote from Benjamin Graham, or rather Apple Think Different, Theodore Roosevelt, it's not the critic who counts. Got the CFV calculation here. But here it is, the introduction. A bunch of OGs wrote me, and senators and House members wrote me introduction for the book, which is fabulous. But it's the standard, how did we set it, the crypto fair value formula, how we judge adoption, transactions, transaction value, active developer, applying the framework, the 6 pillars of perfect money from the Austrian Intellectual Foundation, Bitcoin and its predecessors. We talk about how we got here to Bitcoin. Bitcoin as digital gold, not spendable money, really. Benjamin Graham applied to the network, the correlation chain, the Digital Gold Foundation, and all the things we're doing, the Universal CFV Protocol, applying the CFV, reference perpetual debt architecture. Now we start talking about money from colonial script to the Federal Reserve notes, the payment oligopoly that keeps people from using their rails to spend your crypto, and what we need to do about it. The Federal Reserve petrodollar, okay? It's no wonder why we went into Venezuela. Same reason we went into Syria and Libya and Iraq and Iran is because they wanted to sell for something other than dollars. And if the nations of the world don't have to keep dollars on hand to buy their energy for their country, they don't need dollars. Dollars are going to collapse. So that's why we're really at war in Iran, in my opinion. Okay. But we go through all of this, and I give you the actual prompts so that you can go and test any layer 1 coin. Okay. We've got the whole thing here. And I've got a quote from Bram Cohen, from Amore of BCH and eCash, and from Jared of Digibyte, and from Tron of Ravencoin, and Joel of Dash, and Robert Sassoon of EGLD, and Reen, who's the chairman for the Digital Gold Foundation, Marv Hagedorn, senators, and all the rest. But, and there's my quote again, if you built your castles in the air, your work need not be lost. But guys, I just want you to know, I have put so much effort into this. This is a coin that I have been thinking about for 14 years. 12 years, since 2014. I've been thinking about this for 12 years. I did not rush into this coin. And as a side note, just because it's worth mentioning, the first coin I tried to do was called Bitcoin Latino. And I had hired Nick Szabo as an advisor. I had Roel Campos, the former SEC commissioner who was Elon Musk's lawyer. I had 4 of the same senators and House members, 5 that I have now, that they've known me collectively for over 100 years. Okay, the people that work with me, they've been working with me forever, and they were part of Bitcoin Latino. And what happened was I met Jed McCaleb, who started Ripple and then started Stellar Lumens, and we were going to build a platform for trading legally and doing ICOs, essentially, but legally or as securities on the back of Stellar. But I was talked into going on BitShares by Dan Larimer's father, Stan Larimer, and a guy named Michael Taggart, not his real name. I could divulge it, but I won't. But these guys convinced me I should do it on BitShares, which is an incredible thing. I met Charles Hoskinson and worked with him in 2017 trying to start a self-regulating organization. We met at T0. I've posted those pictures. But Charles was brilliant. He started something called BitShares, and it was truly the first decentralized finance. And it was a full exchange, and anybody could list on it. There were no gatekeepers. You just had to pay in BitShares. You could trade as a pair with BitShares, BTS, and it was great, right? And they convinced me that that's where I should go, and I did. And I told them, wow, you guys have helped me so much. And there were about 20 of them at that time. And we had 1,500 people in the Bitcoin Latina ecosystem. And it was brilliant. And they were translating my white paper into all these different languages globally. And it was huge. And it was just, the hash rate was growing. It was a proof of work coin. It was incredible, incredible. And I gave out coins to people. This is a mistake I don't make again. I gave out coins to people with no contracts or anything except to say that they would earn them monthly over 4 years. And because they had trusted me up front, I trusted them and I gave them all their coins up front. And once we hit BitShares like they told me to, they started mass dumping the coins. And I see the price. We came out at $20 a coin, raised like $250,000 overnight. I spent it on lawyer fees and that. And what do you know? All of a sudden the coin is dumping, and I'm blaming the miners in the Telegram and the Discord. And I'm saying, what are you guys doing? Why are you dumping the coin? You're killing the price. And they said, screw that. It's you. It's you guys are selling it. And I was like, what? And I went, and sure enough, because BitShares, he had accounts like Stan Larimer, his account at BitShares was Stan, it probably still is, and Michael and all these guys, and Crypto Connie and Jared and all these people, they all had these accounts I could see, and they were transferring it into anonymous accounts and then dumping it. And before I knew what was going on, they had dumped like half their coins they were supposed to earn over 4 years. They had dumped in the first few days. And then taken our coin price from $20 down to about 15, and so I started buying it with that $250,000 that had come in because I stopped the ICO. I could have raised $1 million that week, but I stopped it. I didn't need more than that for lawyer fees. And when I told them, I see you guys are doing it, stop it, they're like, screw you, we can do what we want. So I talked to my engineer, and he said, on BitShares, you can take those coins back that they haven't earned. So I took them back, and they went crazy. They went fucking crazy. And in the private accounts and that I couldn't touch, they just started wholesale dumping it down to $2 and then 20 cents. And then they started extorting me, saying that if I turned over the treasury, only then would they give me a break and let those coins rise in value. And I said, nah, you guys do it yourself. And I just turned everything on my side off. And then the coin went away. So then they went online, and you guys can look this stuff up and see it. And they just crucified me. Just went off and told everybody that I had done this and rugged them and everything. No. All those senators, still with me. That former SEC commissioner, still on my speed dial. Still friends, do a cattle business with them. None of them sold coins. My family members, my friends, everybody that had bought coins, all lost. My whole family lost. At one point, because I had 10% of the coins back in those days, that seemed to be okay. It was a $450 million coin, and I had a net worth of $45 million. Rugged, nothing. Suddenly it's 450 grand, then 45 grand, then gone. I never sold any coins. So if you look up the death of crypto, John Gotts, you'll find a Medium post that I did right after that in 2018, I think. And I said, fuck this. And I got out of crypto entirely. Completely out of crypto. Done. Just a cesspool is what I thought. And I named names in that and said why I got out and all the rest, okay? And I just didn't want the stress. I didn't want any of it. But as I saw Marxism and communism taking over our country, as I saw the dollar just getting evaporated, as I saw the Democrats let 30 million illegals. I'm for immigration. Go through the front door. Don't break in my back door. But They were trying to build out their congressional districts. And it's sick and sad because I was a Trump voter 3 times in a row. But now we know he's on the Epstein list and he's protecting the Epstein class. And he's going to war because the Zionists tell him to. And they're out to protect the Federal Reserve note. Well, that's the Rothschilds. That's the Federal Reserve System, which is as federal as Federal Express. And they're all in there protecting it. So on this side, you got the pedophile class, the Epstein class. And on this side, you got the World Economic Forum, who want open borders and to destroy our world and take it over and make us eat bugs and have nothing and enjoy it. And they want to push transgenderism and all this, insanity on our country. So we're fucked on both sides. And so I had to step back into crypto. And I had to use my brain that God gifted me and think about everything and research it and try and understand, okay, why does Bitcoin have any value at all? What's under it? 80 million users, 6 billion transactions, $13.5 trillion in transaction value, 905 core developers and ancillary developers. That's it. And with AI, thank God for Elon Musk and Grok. Now I use Claude, Opus 4.7 adaptive. But first I used Grok. And I asked Grok, what's going on with this? And Grok came back and we started a conversation that I thought would be one weekend. And it ended up being a conversation that led me to Claude. And then Claude led me to here. And now 17 months later, I have now interviewed almost every OG that I like. I still want to interview the guys from Internet Computer and Near Protocol and Charles Hoskinson. But other than that, I've interviewed all the people that started these coins that I love so much. And I asked them, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where the digital gold standard benchmark is broken. It's not right. The crypto fair value that I'm giving you guys, do you think that's real? Oh, and I want to show you guys one more thing. If you go to Digital Gold Foundation, oops, I can type here. And if you click on coin reports, you'll see right up here when the site resolves here. There we go. When you click on coin reports, it'll show you the monthly coin reports for all these coins that I follow. And they're just in alphabetical order here. Okay. And when you click on this, let's say that I click on one for, I don't know, let's click on Cardano. View the report. Okay. I tell you all the things that we look at. It's 26.95 cents right now. This is a live real thing. But we believe it's 96.4% below its crypto fair value. And we tell you the whole story. Charles was brilliant. He did BitShares, then he did Ethereum, then he did Cardano. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. And so what makes it distinctive, and we go through all of this, and then where it falls short, because everybody does. That's okay. That's learning. Okay. And then what we talk about, its scarcities, decentralized government, stable pricing, freedom to interact, adequate circulation, all the things that are the 7 pillars. And then we come down here and we talk about its adoption. We think it has 7 million users. Well, if Bitcoin has 80 million and they have 7 million, shouldn't they be worth a little less than 10% as much, essentially? But you also have to weigh in their 30 million transactions compared to 6 billion transactions. And you have to look at the $50 billion in transaction value compared to 13.5 trillion. And then active developers, 670 compared to 905. That's pretty darn close. Isn't that sweet? And then we take a look at all of this and we put it up against the digital gold standard benchmark. And I told you those numbers, 1.983 trillion, 80 million, 6.095 transactions, 13.5 trillion transaction value. Okay. And then we run it through that and we say that its fair price is really $7.46. So understand, I did this with all of these different coins. I went and I talked to Dash, Digital Cash. Their fair value, according to this, is about $8,000. It just is, guys. I showed you Cardano is only about 20 times undervalued or whatever, but this thing is, Dash is hugely undervalued, hugely undervalued. It's $45 right now live. It should be $8,000, okay? And this is just applying the same math, the same exact math. Let's look at Digibyte. I love Digibyte, okay? But Digibyte's fair value right now is about $4.28. And this is why I've started the coin fund. is because I want to get my investors into coins when they are this grotesquely undervalued. This is like 1,000 times undervalued, more than that. Okay, incredible, right? Incredible. And you can go across the whole group. Chia, I love Chia. We're building our token on the back of Chia, representing the coin fund. Okay, and right now the fair value is about $1,400, about where they came out. But that means it's 600 times undervalued. So if I can get my investors to put in $1 billion, by the time it reaches fair value, which I hope is within 3 years of buying through the first, second, and third fund, if it takes 3 years to get to its current fair value, my investors, that $1 billion that they've invested, and take 1/13 of that, so 60 million, should be worth about 3.6 billion. Incredible, incredible. So I want you guys to check out digitalgoldfoundation.org. I want you to read the Digital Gold white paper. I want you to understand why we value things as we do, including digital gold. I want you to go out there and I want you to tell your friends. I want you to tell your family. I want you to sign up, because my ultimate goal is that we have distributed these 19 million coins around the world. And that money in your wallet isn't getting evaporated by inflation. Look, if you build this network with us, then I want you to reap the rewards of that and get wealthy because you participated in building the largest decentralized financial network in the history of crypto. The history of crypto. I want this to be a number one coin eventually. I want it to pass Bitcoin. I want to grow beyond that 80 million they seem to have been nicked against. They're worth like 115,000 a coin now using this formula. But they kind of run against that 80 million and they're like 82, 84 million. They're not growing that fast. I want to grow this to 160 million coins. 160 million users. That'd be incredible. We passed Graham at 167, so really I'd love to hit 170 million users of digital gold globally. That's about 1/4%. If we could do that, that's about 2.5% of the population. If we could do that, we're looking at a $4 trillion coin. We're looking at about 200 grand a coin. If we can get 170 million users of digital gold. And that happens because you're building the network. You're downloading the wallet. You're becoming an ambassador. You're getting other people to download the wallet. Don't just have them download a wallet. Have them become referrers. Let them go refer. Let them go validate and buy some coins and validate and say, yeah, it's worth that much at that level. If you guys do this with me, we will reach $1,000 a coin, 500,000 users by January 1st. So I'm probably going to be doing these once a week at least or more. But your mission, should you be willing to take it, mission impossible, is to go out there and download nodes, have your family download nodes, have your friends download nodes. We're going to get you your DGD, you refer people, you become an ambassador. We want someone in every city, in every state, in every country, in every county, and we'll get there. We will absolutely get there if we all stick in our oars and pull together. Okay, so that is it. Let's just see if there are any other comments. The expertise offered by these books is incredible. Thank you. I love the cat. Thank you. I love the cat too. So yeah, guys, go out there and spread the word. We just about hit 1,000. Hey, Adam, I'm on a podcast. What's up?
Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to interrupt your podcast.
That's okay. I'll call you after. I'm just winding it up.
All right. Later.
So Adam's great. He's an ambassador. He's been with me for about 4 months, signing on House members and senators from around the country, crypto-friendly people. Incredible. And I just met him on X. And that's what I'm talking about. You meet people, they get involved, and the next thing you know, we are, 26 states, House and Senate members. 26 states, House and Senate members. Because of people like Adam, who just volunteered their time. And shout out to Jackie and to Mark and to Cody and to Caleb and to Ryan. And of course, to Benjamin and to Reen and to Alexander and to Bob, and to Drew. I hope I didn't miss any of you guys. I've got a core team, and every one of them just came into my life through X. And all of you guys, you came into my life through X. So I'm so grateful to Elon Musk and having this freedom of speech and being able to talk about crypto on this social media site of his. But if you guys will go share this, if you guys will download this, we're going to grow. And we're going to grow faster. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, right? You know, to get 10% more people when we only have 1,000 accounts from 2 years ago, that most of them are ghosts now. We've got to get in touch with them and let them know we're rolling again. They're going to be stoked. They came in at a nickel. Okay, but we had over 1,000 nodes. And then I shut it all down because I couldn't focus on DGD anymore. I had to focus on the crypto for value and digital gold standard benchmark, and then writing the books, and then getting the legislators and doing the podcast and checking. Scientific method is you give it to everybody and show them and see if they can break it. And if they break it, you see if you can fix it. And if you can't fix it, then it wasn't right. But nobody's been able to break it. If you guys can break it, fantastic. Try and break it. Find me a better system for value in layer one cryptocurrency. I would love to see it. But now we've circled back around. But when we get 2,000 people, we need 20 more people to go to the next level. Yeah, but it's still just 1%. When we have 50,000 people, it'll take 5,000 new people to get to the next level. But so what? We've got 50,000 people. When we have 500,000, we'll have to get 50,000. Sorry. When we're at 500,000, it'll be 5,000. At 50,000, it'll be 500 new people. But when we get even to 5 million people, and we need 50,000 people to go to the next level, so what? It's just 1%. You see how it works? So as long as we can just keep getting 1% more each level, 1% more, 1% more, get those people pushing that value, push that value, push that value, run those nodes, build this into the largest decentralized financial network ever in the world, where no government is involved, nobody can take your coins because you said the wrong thing on social media, nobody can seize your assets and take these away from you. No financial institution can slow down your transaction because it's a holiday weekend or the bank's closed or whatever. No, it's nearly damn instant. It's nearly instant. I take my finger off the button and you've got it. Okay? So this is sweet. We've run for just over an hour and a half and we're crossing 1,000 of you amazing, beautiful, lovely, wonderful people out there. I'm so blessed. If you guys had told me a year ago that I was going to be this blessed, I would not have believed you. So anyway, I hate to shut it down. We're at 1,000 because, of course, this is when we'll probably double that number in the next hour and do 2,000 live. But I will bet you that just like all the others, like the Orange Gooey. One more thing. Shout out to my man Orange Gooey, the Tang Gang. Shout out Tang Gang. Neck Lords, okay? He is starting something called Yellow Jacket. And if you guys want to know more about it, go watch my last podcast on Saturday. It's gotten over 11,000 views. And he talks in the last hour, so it's a 2-hour show. Go to the final hour. And Orange Gooey talks about something called Yellow Jacket. Like a honeybee, like a bumblebee. But what he's also talking about is the yellow jacket that you get, when you're the number one in the Tour de France, you wear the yellow jersey. When you're the winner of the Masters, I believe they get a yellow jacket to wear. It might be green. But it's that idea of golf, of wearing a yellow jacket. You're the winner. Okay? That's a big deal. And then there's World Series of Poker. And they play Texas Hold'em. Okay. Now, brilliant Bram Cohen has figured out that a game of skill, like poker, played with one other person, you can gamble, you can actually bet Chia, and that's how I think he's going to grow to 150 million people with Chia, and they're going to be worth $2 trillion. I love Chia. But Bram created this poker game. Well, Orange Gooey figured out that he could do like a World Series of Poker. Okay, and but like golf, it's 18 rounds, and you can't slough a hand. You got to play every hand because at the end of 18 rounds of this, there's a winner, and then that person will move on to play the next. There's an unlimited number of people. There could be 500,000 people. So that you know, 7,000 people pay $10,000 to get in the World Series of Poker. It's no joke. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the Digital Gold Foundation be the first sponsor of a weekly World Series of Poker, essentially, this Yellow Jacket tournament. Digital Gold Foundation and DGD will be the sponsor. And we're going to put up, and this is the only way you're ever going to get this kind of coin quantity, 1,000 DGD to the winner of that tournament. The second place, is going to get 250 DGD, which is still a lot. Right now, that's still a good little chunk of change. And the third place winner is going to get 100 DGD. Now, at $4 a coin, or hopefully by the end of this month, $14 a coin, and it should be starting this game in 2 weeks. That's what he said on the last podcast. That would be a $14,000 grand prize. Now, just so you know, the pros that really go and play those, most of them won't play the real winners for less than 80 grand. But that means that once DGD hits $80, that's our first place, is $80,000 worth of DGD. 20,000 second place, $10,000 for third. Well, 8,000. Okay. That's pretty great. Now, what do you have to do to play in that tournament? You're going to have to go download a node. You're going to have to download a node. Okay? And if you don't download a node, you can't be in the tournament. You got to sign up, download a node. Okay? And we may even have it that you have to put in at least $10, which will get you $20 worth of DGD credit. And the $10 that comes into the foundation, we will give that $10 over to the tournament. So then Orange Gooey and his group can make some money. Okay? So somebody comes in, they're going to be getting DGD. They also get a wallet. But now do the math. What happens if 1,000 people show up to play that in that World Series? What happens if 10,000 do? Oh, 10,000 people. That's cool, right? Because again, and I'll share my screen to show you guys this because it's just really freaking awesome, is that if we go into stats and we look, we just hit the next level, guys. 1342. Yay, we're now 445 a coin. Congratulations. I love you guys. This is amazing. Okay, if we go up, let's say that we get 10,000 new players that download nodes. Okay, we're at 1342. That means we have to get 1357 to go to the next level. Okay, but if we get 10,000 players of his game, that would take us to 11,042. 11,042. Right in here. We'd be $30 a coin, guys. How crazy is that? So I could see, at $30 now, the grand prize is $30,000. And I could see this blowing up, man. I could see this is what's going to get us to 100,000. But when we get to 100,000 people that are playing his poker tournament, 100,000 people, it's now $227 a coin. That means first place wins $250,000 nearly. Holy shit. Right? And second prize is going to be about $50,000 worth of DGD. And third place is going to be like 10 grand, 11 grand worth of DGD. So I am super stoked about that, but understand that's just one tournament. If this works out, I want to see about other tournaments. I want to see about if we can put up DGD if you play any poker game on Chia. A guy named Drac is doing the games for Chia, and shout out Drac, absolute OG. But I want to find games that you can play tournaments sponsored by Digital Gold, but in order to enter the tournament, you've got to go and download a wallet and plug in and be a node and sign up for an account. Put in your DGD address and let us know that's you. Okay? Because there's no other way for us to pay you your DGD. You got to have a wallet. And you don't know if you're a winner until the end of the tournament, right? And so when I say that I think that we could reach $1,000 a coin by January, a lot of it has to do with this idea that Tang Gang Orange Gooey came up with and that tournament. Because now what I'm going to have is, if any of you ambassadors can find tournaments that we can sponsor that draw a lot of people, there's a way for you to earn DGD. Believe me, if you can move those numbers, because everyone that comes in will come in through your referral code. And as they're getting DGD, you'll be getting DGD. Can you imagine if 100,000 people sign up below you? Let's say 10% of them validate. 10,000 people, the average person puts in $100. It's $1 million worth of DGD, right? And you're going to get 10% as much validated. So, like, this is going to take off. This is going to be huge. And so, shout out to all you people out there, 1,100 of you that watch this live. Please share this. Send me your DGD address in a direct message. I will send you some DGD. And I always hate to shut this down when we're at over 1,000 people, because this is really when people are like, oh, I wonder where I'll go. And you see the things on the side of your X page of places that you can go chill and listen to stuff. And once it's over 1,000, you're like, well, the crowd is there. I'm going to go there. And but anyway, I will end this now and just say, God bless all of you 1,100 that showed up live. Go share this with 10 of your friends so that we can get 11,000 viewers of this. Let's run up the numbers. Let's become the largest decentralized financial network in the world, in history. We can do it. I believe in you guys. I love you guys. And I hope that you have a fine day. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. We'll announce it. Go join Telegram. Go join it. It's in the link. It's in the thread. So, all right, guys. God bless. Have a great day. See you.